insanely well put together post. Like very, 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 very well put together, to the point where I kind of wanted to read it out with you guys, just because the guy literally puts such an amazing opinion through it. And I thought, you know, with the way things are going, with how gameplay is, with the way a lot of people think FIFA in general is kind of dying. FIFA 18 is kind of dying. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is worrisome in terms of what people are enjoying versus what people aren't. For a game that I love, FIFA, I love the sport of football. I know all of you guys love. So obviously, the way the state of FIFA 18 is and how I'm seeing other people giving up on the game in the middle of December, it worries me, because I'm like, well, shit, man. Like in February, who's going to be playing this game? Like, if already in the build up to Team of the Year, during FUTMAS, like all of the craziest things going on right now. Like last year, dude, do you guys remember, as broken as the game was, and obviously as stressful as FUT Champs was, remember how hypey FUTMAS was and how awesome it was, and every single day we were all just excited to play the game, and we didn't even have squad battles during the middle of the week last year. We literally had nothing to do during the middle of the week. So it's just a bit worrisome the way the state of the game is right now. So I wanted to read through this. I started breezing through this post, and I was like, you know what? I want to wait for the stream. We'll read through it, and then we'll see what you guys agree with this post and what you guys disagree with this post. But before I do that, let me get quickly started here. Here we go. Just as a tweet saying that we're live. Save one. We learned that these FUTMAS cards simply aren't worth it in the long run. True. It's a good point. Okay, so we are live. Starting off the day, the day with a solid, with a read through of a very well put together. Then on to our 18 games of Weekend League for today. Okay. There it is. Perfect. Refresh that. Just to punch the hole through my wall, so I'm done with FIFA. My keeper just stood still without even trying to save a ball 3 times. Dude, you know what? How close was I yesterday to smashing my desk? I'm pretty sure there's at least 4 or 5 times where I like stopped myself from smashing my desk yesterday. And I don't know. It's just it kind of grosses me out how I can let this game take over my like mental state and my brain, if you will. Norman, thank you again for the 4 months. Heartless, thank you for the 3 months, brother. Appreciate the resubs. Thank you so much. Yonik, happy holidays to you and the fam. Love the content. Thank you, man. Did I read that already? Feels like I read that already. It's dead today, Nick, if not worse than yesterday. Is that possible? Is that possible? No way! Hello, Nick, best guy number 1. I'm number 2. Nep is the first best guy. I follow in behind. I've downloaded Fortnite. Hit me up when you're ready to play. Fuck Weekend League this weekend. CBA to play. Woohoo! No way! Is he joking? Is he trolling? Is he trolling? Holy shit! Nepo! Coming up huge. Let's go, baby. Oh god, man. Oh god. The learning curve on Fortnite is so high. Oh my god, it is so high. Okay. Anyways, let's read through this Reddit post. Dark Sky, thank you for the 33 months, man. Appreciate you. Jamie, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. Yo, Nick, keep doing what you do, man. Happy holidays to you and the family. Much love. Thank you, sir. All right, so let's read through it. So a Reddit dude basically put up a post saying we need to talk. The prologue. I'm a 35-year-old gamer, been lucky in being around long enough to have gone through many different eras in the world of computer games, and it's been a blast. So basically like Nep and my age kind of thing, right? Except I'm super young and Nep's old. But folks, there's a horrid disease running amok in the world of gaming. There was a time when gaming was an innocent pastime. Now, the industry is worth a whopping $107 billion worldwide and climbing fast. Nothing innocent about it anymore. And obviously, EA wanted a piece of that juicy pie. I mean, EA were probably one of the first gaming companies to take a huge piece of that pie, but you know, that can be argued. Everything is now about greed. A company will do anything they can to get you hooked on their particular intellectual property. And with it comes a very nasty surprise. Once hooked, your wallet becomes the sole target of these companies, taking whatever means necessary to get you to open it up to them. If you skim over this post, you'll see that it is incredibly long, but that's because it took this long to put into words everything that's wrong with not only EA, but also this community, this is the part I kind of liked about it. This guy was brutally honest about, you know, EA, the gaming community as a whole, and our FIFA community. So introduction. Simply put, EA are a publicly floated company, partly owned by banks and major investment funds. Very true. They habitually and aggressively implement anti-consumer practices while simultaneously shoveling out cynically produced titles whose only purpose is to make money at the expense of the quality end user experience. Then again, that can be said for any gaming company, right? Replace EA with Activision or Ubisoft, however you say it, and you get the same thing. But this post is all about our good friends EA, so let's crack on. The subject of EA has been discussed and shouted about ad nauseum. Personally, I simply roll my eyes anytime I hear new information about how EA have once again shafted the gamers, etc. Simply put, EA are money-grabbing monolith. Make no mistake about that. So how did EA get so big? More importantly, the number one question to ask is, I love this, why do EA treat you like a little bitch? The answer is because you are one. Jesus. Okay. Now, before you reach down the downvote button and walk away from this post for feeling angry and butthurt by that comment, please read on. I'll try to justify it. It'll be very easy to lay into EA for all the wrong things they've done. In fact, if I mentioned every single wrongdoing, this post would be 10 times as long. So I'll keep things in context. Worst company in America, 2012 to 2013. The consumers poll taken back in 2012 and 2013 put EA at the top of the tree in regards to being the worst company in America 2 years in a row. But are they really? There are many organizations worldwide that pile on the misery of their fellow human beings. Some are willing to kill for profit. BP, Exxon, Nestle, Monsanto, cigarette companies, all the banks, and so on. Let's be honest here. EA may be an immoral money-making machine, but by no means are they making money from people's deaths or going out of their way to destroy the planet or profiting from ecological disasters, etc. I mean, you can't disagree with that. You think EA are robbing you? How about we talk about the likes of Ticketmaster or Verizon? By no means am I defending EA. Instead, I'm trying to show the bigger picture in regards to a large number of unethical and immoral companies who operate and benefit at the expense of human misery worldwide. Jesus, this is going fucking super deep. Anyways, when you think about it, EA are simply just another company who were fortunate enough to have come up with an idea that no one else had thought of, albeit an unethical idea at that, and I'll explain why shortly. Before I lay my comments in, we'll just let this guy get his point across first. EA's obligations. Let's get things absolutely straight here. EA only have obligations to two things: their profit margins and to their investors. Well, technically it's really just one thing. It's just their investors, because the obligation to their investors would push them to obviously boost their profit margins, etc., 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 etc. So really, they only have obligations to their investors. But anyways, that's obviously semantics. Outside of this, EA have absolutely no obligations to anyone else whatsoever. That includes you. When you think about it, that's just business as usual, albeit unethical. You may have amoral, not immoral, although some companies choose this path too. You may have to be amoral in the world of business to survive. Also true. If you have morals, you won't last a day in the high-flying world of dog-eat-dog capitalist society. I'm going to pause this music for a second. EA will employ every known tactic in order to make you part ways with your money. Our FIFA in a nutshell. Disclaimer, I want to make it absolutely clear that there should be mutual respect between us all. And just as I've expressed my opinion freely, I expect your opinions openly, which is what I hope to read from the chat in a little bit here. Therefore, everything I mentioned in this section in regards to us gamers is simply said from the perspective of being constructive criticism. If it offends you, then with all due respect, the onus is on you to solve the issue constructively. So here we go, dudes. Are you guys cool with this? Are you guys all right with me reading this out? Are you asleep yet? This is going to be the longest cool story, bro, ever known to mankind. Just join the stream. What is this? I mean, literally just scroll back and read it. You guys are okay with it? Okay. So where we are here. Folks, as much as we like to shit on EA for being a money-hungry capitalist corporation, we also are to blame for the state of the things as they stand, which is absolutely true right here. Want to know what's more inconsistent than the horrendous inconsistency of this game? It's the way us players seesaw between fuck EA, I'll never buy this game again, to, oh, new shiny packs want. That's me 7 days out of the week. Think about it. We have absolutely no credibility left in us after 7 years of repeating the same process of coming on here moaning and whining about the game and its problems. Yet before we even finish our sentence, we end up buying packs or getting hyped for the next set of shiny cards or the next iteration of the game. It speaks volumes about how fickle we are as gamers, which means as a company, which means any company can and will manipulate us at will. Now, I slightly disagree with this point here, because I think the whole reason we all love this game is for everything that EA offer us in certain parts of the game. Like, I grew up as a kid playing certain games, and playing football, but playing like card collecting games and collecting cards, whether it was football cards, whether it was hockey cards, whether it was, embarrassingly enough, Magic the Gathering cards. So I have like a youth of growing up with that type of a card collecting, like gaming mentality, if you will. So when FIFA 09 was released, Ultimate Team was released, it like just blew up this like amazing want that I wanted from a video game. And to this day, I still have that. Like, so, you know, for you nerds out there, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever, Magic the Gathering, come on. Cool people, Magic the Gathering, nerd squids, Yu-Gi-Oh. Nevertheless, you see what I'm saying here. So I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think we all have a right to love FIFA 18 in terms of the good parts. Like, just because I'm mad, anyways, and maybe he goes in to explain this, but I just wanted to get my point across. Like, just because I'm mad that the game is inconsistent, the servers are broken and stuff like that, or up until literally this year, EA would easily and almost willingly give up your account detail information to anyone that called in remotely trying to pretend to be you. They would give away your fucking phone number and shit. They would change your phone number even though you had two-stage authentication. They would literally just change your phone number to the hacker's phone number. Literally, and all the hacker would need to know is like your first name. That's it. So EA have had horrendous things in terms of the way they run FIFA Ultimate Team, the accounts within FIFA Ultimate Team, and all. I don't want it. Nope. I don't want it. No, I don't. No, it's not healthy. I literally just had a shake. I don't want another shake. Please don't sneeze in here. Thank you. You're psycho. Anyways, now I don't even know what I was saying. Damn it, woman. For God's sakes, what the hell was I saying? Anyways, all I really wanted to get to is I don't necessarily agree with him just taking the piss out of us for being mad at certain things from EA, but then liking other things from EA. I don't agree with that. But anyways, let's see if this guy corrects it. So he goes on to say, seriously, grow a backbone and stick to your principles. Have a bit of control and self-respect in not opening your wallet so easily to the next set of shiny packs that are dangled in front of you. Give yourself the slight bit of dignity that you deserve and keep your money in your pocket. We went from a whole 10 months of hating EA for how bad FIFA 17 was to instant hype prior to the release of FIFA 18. The voice of those who were cautious about the new game got drowned out by all the hype. Is it any wonder we get laughed at by other communities? We look dumb to the outside world. This community gets called toxic for a reason. I mean, most gaming communities for the most part are toxic, let's be real. We squabble amongst ourselves while EA get richer at our expense. In case anyone forgot, the Fat Ronaldo Super Duper Deluxe Icon Edition 3000 cost up to £90 on release. Ask yourself, was it worth it? And, well, no, it wasn't. And personally, I think those of us who romanticize the game pre-patch are simply in denial of having paid such a hefty sum for the game in the first place and are trying to justify the cost, potentially. Most players have a defeatist attitude towards EA, not knowing that they have the power in their wallet. It's been said many times, vote with your wallet. How's hashtag fix FIFA working out? Oh God, that probably triggered quite a few people reading this post. It may not be easy to create a boycott considering those who frequent Reddit are the minority, but at least do your bit. Just as easy it is for you to spend £20 instantly on FIFA points, why not buy PES to give Konami a larger share? Let EA know where you stand as a disgruntled customer. But let's admit it, folks, we're all addicted to the toxic nature of this game. That's where the problem is. Oh God, okay. This guy now is going to go into the stuff that we talk about on stream all the time. Oh God, here we go, dudes. The psychology of FIFA. Emotions. Folks, I'm not a psychologist, but easy to see that FIFA, NHL, Madden, NFS, NBA, etc. are all built around a certain set of psychological stepping stones, all geared to try and get a player to be heavily invested emotionally. Poor man road to glory, anybody. I'll try and point out something that doesn't get discussed often, but that's because it's very subtle. Make no mistake about it, everything that's wrong with FIFA has a purpose. I really fucking hope not, but you know what? Let's just read on and let this guy get his point across. All the bugs, the glitches, the sudden passing that goes astray, the lack of control, or the horrendous moments of EAs encountered daily, which is littered across this sub in video form, all these things happen for a reason. It's purposely incorporated into the horrid game to tilt the player to purposely frustrate you. Why, you ask? Simple. Because an emotionally unstable player who's been left frustrated by faulty mechanics in a game will be more likely to open their wallet due to their inability to think rationally in that moment. That's a little bit tinfoil hat, but anyways, ask yourself, have you ever played FIFA in the last 7 years without ever coming away frustrated? Most likely every session of FIFA has tilted you to some degree. Yeah, I guess in some instances. It's been well documented that when emotions and tensions run high, a person is likely to have a far higher level of flawed logic and therefore may make rash decisions. I just think he's getting this wrong. I think the base of what he's saying is correct, but then that frustration to like make you nonsensically go spend FIFA points, I think is wrong. I think it's something else entirely. Essentially you being frustrated because you maybe your team isn't good enough or the performance aren't good enough, so then maybe not even being dazed and confused in rage you go spend FIFA points, but more so you go spend FIFA points out of frustration because you want to make your team better or you want more coins to improve your team or something like that. I think that's more along the lines of why. But anyways, again, let's let this guy get what he wants to say out. In the case of this game, a person may think to themselves, if only I had Messi or Ronaldo. Oh shit, he's literally about to say what I just said. If only I had Messi or Ronaldo, I'd be winning the games with ease. And so they end up opening up their wallet for a chance to pack those players. All right, he kind of flopped back and forth between two different points. But anyways, furthermore, if you're the kind of player, to be fair, other than this little part, it's a well put together post. Furthermore, if you think the kind of player who gets totally frustrated after a session of FIFA to the point where you end up selling your multi-million coin team in a fit of rage, then you, my friend, are the exact kind of player EA are targeting. Yep. Okay, now he's brought it back. He's reined it back. He's getting his point across much better now. Reason being that we know most of all, you know that you'll be back. After selling your team maybe a day or two or even a few weeks later, you'll return to the game with a fresh hope and a clear head. And so, with a newly established club, you go through the process all over again. And as we know with everything in regards to dynamic difficulty and slider manipulation, the game will start off essentially giving you free wins, just enough to lure you in. Enough to caress your ego, and enough for you to be invested to the point of opening your wallet to EA once again. Okay. Here's ex-EA CEO John, anyways, I don't really want to watch this or read through yet something else, but John Resitiello speaking about how a player who's heavily invested in a game will be more willing to part with their money in order to continue their gaming experience. The premise is simple in regards to games containing microtransactions. Whatever you're playing, the game rewards you left and right and center at the beginning to get you hooked. Suddenly, halfway through the game, several hours in, just as you're heavily invested, the rewards dry up. And the game introduces microtransactions in order to get to the bigger, more powerful guns, power-ups, etc., without having to grind for them, aka pay to win. These are abhorrent, unethical tactics deployed by the gaming industry as a whole, but unfortunately gamers are none the wiser. I mean, I'm pretty sure gamers are absolutely wise to it because we as a community came up with pay to win. So again, you can't really push a post out saying gamers are not wise to this when we came up with a term for this exact process. But anyways, at every turn, EA are trying to manipulate us to open our wallets to them. They will nickel and dime us for all that we're worth. All roads led up to buying FIFA points. Even the way FIFA points are set up is a psychological trick. Think about it. When you spend $79, you get 79 pounds, you get 12,000 FIFA points. This is an arbitrary number that no longer has the same connotation in comparison to having the price of a pack written in its true value underneath it, thereby removing the logic you might have if you initially saw the pack price before pulling the trigger. This sort of tactic is very effective on young children who do not know the true value of money. Oh, we're getting into it, aren't we? As an example, lightning round packs go for 100,000 coins or 1,000 FIFA points. In case you forgot, that's £7.50 for Bas Dost. ... Yes. We say this all the time and people cry at me for constantly mentioning this. That's literally almost 20 Canadian dollars. How gross is that? Even when opening a pack, you have long been exposed to another psychological trick. You'll notice that if a pack contains a gold stripe in the animation phase, then you'll have a board opening walkout. Well, maybe not a walkout, but anyways. Therefore, a higher rated player, 84 plus. 83! Jesus! I mention this because I've seen countless YouTube videos where the OP instantly skips the pack if it doesn't contain the gold stripe. Think about how this influences the young demographic watching their video. Yup. Way to make us feel bad. It's creating a feedback loop. One that only benefits EA. See, the difference is, though, I mean, this is unintentional by all means for any content producer, whether it's me as a streamer or anyone making a YouTube video. I mean, no one's sitting here thinking they're influencing young kids to just constantly spend money on the game, right? Hopefully people see that. EA must be so thankful that, in fact, I mean, myself and many others say all the time, like, we do this as a job. Let us open the packs. If you want to watch our content and watch us open packs and watch us light thousands of dollars on fire, better than you doing it or you spending your birthday money to get nothing. You know what I mean? Until EA improve the pack weights and their honesty with pack drop weights and all of that stuff, I think you should leave it for the most part to the content creators, or as long as you can afford to lose the money. Because literally it's essentially gambling on money you're willing to lose, right? When opening packs. Which is not bad. If you choose to do that, more power to you. Just be ready to lose your money. EA must be so thankful that the majority of us are so keen to open our wallets so easily at the drop of a hat, or in the case of FIFA, at the drop of new shiny cards on a weekly basis. Since when is spending 79 pounds, let's just say 80 pounds, on FIFA points considered a micro transaction? That's what you would call a major transaction. Remind me again why I shouldn't call you EA's little bitch when you're willing to open your wallet to them so easily. Damn! Holy shit. On top of that, whether you realize it or not, EA are mocking us. For the last few iterations of FUT, the FUT points button within FUT is a picture of a goalkeeper diving towards the FIFA points icon. EA know they have us by the balls and are shamelessly taunting us. Yet we're too addicted to break the cycle. That's our fault. We have no one to blame but ourselves. Then again, EA are feeding on our emotions, as mentioned earlier, from the avid Real Madrid fan who swears to death on their Barcelona rival, to the old man who turns up and stands on the byline to watch his non-league team play in the pouring rain. We all love football. Well said. We turn to football as a form of escape. We've said this on stream all the time. That's why I got addicted to Ultimate Team, because I used FIFA and Ultimate Team as like an escape for when football wasn't on, or as a kid when I wasn't playing football, I would jump on FIFA and get my fix there. EA don't see the beautiful game the same as we do. They see it as a money grab. Bit harsh, but maybe the higher ups do see that. No doubt about it. I don't think the devs do. I think the devs love football and FIFA in general. These two different viewpoints do not bode well together. They collide badly. EA have bought all of the licenses, have jazzed up their game to look as realistic as possible, yet gameplay is anything but realistic or beautiful. It's solely built for instant gratification. There are many players who have quickly accustomed themselves to the mechanics of the game and even go as far as playing the toxic weekend league consisting of 40 games packed in a 3-day cycle, all for the sake of getting shiny cards. Oh, come on, man, I have 18 games to play today. As long as people play the game, EA will continue to profit. It's up to you whether you want to continue down this path, or to free yourself from the misery of the perpetual cycle of stress and pure frustration that this game dishes out. Whoa! God! The ugly side of gambling and addiction. Jesus Christ! Let me drink some coffee before we really get into this part. My lord. Is Nick critiquing his own Reddit post? No, this isn't my post. I know it sounds like everything I say on a daily basis in my streams, but no. What's crazy is this is just a completely random person with the same thoughts that we all have, essentially. Good lord. This guy's making me feel real bad. I play squad battles. Like I said, we're reading this as an outlooker, and take this for the points that it has. Don't let it offend you. Don't let it make you mad or whatever. Just take this as the guy's making really good points. And then we can have, we can have a discussion about it. So, like, what do you guys think so far? Is there major things you disagree with too much? I don't think so. I mean, I think he's maybe a bit too harsh, maybe a bit too harsh on the community, maybe even a bit too harsh on EA, if that's even possible to say. But honestly, I'm pretty sure you could submit this for a master's thesis paper and you'd probably get an A. You genuinely probably would. But I mean, all I'm going to say here is, like I said, I've spent money on this game, right? We've spent money on the game for my YouTube channel. We've spent money on the game for the series that I wanted to start on YouTube. We've spent money on the game randomly for Wasted Wednesdays as a part of the stream. So I can't sit here and criticize people that spend money on the game because I am that person, whether or not it's a content creator or not. However, I will say that I think, for the most part, at least this channel is a part of some sort of the solution. For the last 4 years, we've been doing the Poor Man Road to Glory since FIFA 15, right? On my channel on YouTube, it's all documented there. Since FIFA 15, this is the 4th year that I've been doing a Road to Glory where I don't spend a dime on FIFA points, and I'm trying to show my viewer base that may not be willing to or may not be able to afford spending money on this game that they can buy the game for its initial price and then spend the rest of the year building up their account through Road to Glory style achievements. Bronze packs, all that stuff. So I'd like to think that this channel is a part of the solution. Now, having said that, it's even more crazy that this year alone, I'm on like a 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times less spending than I am from last year. Like, I keep needing to remind people that are saying, oh yeah, but you've spent some money this year. Bro, it's mid-December. This time last year, I'd already spent about $30,000 on FIFA points. Maybe $35,000 on FIFA points. Sure, it's a business expense. At the end of the day, it's a write-off. But that's still money that goes out of my pocket. At the end of the day, that just reduces the taxes I have to pay by a small amount. I still spend $35,000. It's not like just because it's a business expense, it just goes to nowhere. No, at the end of the day, I'm still spending that type of money. Whereas this year, what have we spent? Maybe $2,500? That's still an insane amount of money. But it's nowhere near what we spent, this time last year, or this time in FIFA 16, or this time in FIFA 15. So, honestly, it's insane seeing someone post like this, but then you look at everything else that's going on in the community, me not spending anywhere near as much money anymore on FIFA points, people not playing the game as much anymore in FIFA 18, and what this guy's criticizing the FIFA community for, what's crazy is that the FIFA community is kind of doing what this guy's insulting the FIFA community for not doing. People aren't spending as much money this year as they have in previous years. I see that from my community. I know my chat themselves are just sick and tired of spending endless amounts of money on this game and getting nothing in return. Or having all of the broken, terrible things in the game just be brought back to us year in on year in on year in, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing, too, is not even on the money side. Again, I see my community as well blatantly showing us day in, day out that they're playing this game less and less, if not at all. And we're mid-December. So, although I do see what this guy's getting at, I think maybe his post missed the mark because we're on that trend now of people like Yeah, I think boycotting is kind of a bullshit word to use, but we'll just use it for this particular instance. You know, we're kind of seeing it right now with people boycotting spending money on the game, or specifically boycotting playing the game. People aren't playing the game. People would rather play PUBG. People would rather play Fortnite. We all see my viewers go up by 10 or 20% when I decide to play Fortnite instead of FIFA. Like, I'd like to consider my channel, you know, as much as I want to consider this a stream, for the most part, I started off because of FIFA. If it wasn't for FIFA Ultimate Team, I never would have started streaming for fun. Like, I never would have. Sure, I would have played other games and I would continue playing other games even until this day, but the whole reason I started streaming was because of FIFA Ultimate Team, because of the EA forums, because I shared such a love for football and for this game, specifically for Ultimate Team, that I wanted to talk to other people about it live and have a fun conversation. I saw other people streaming it and I thought it would just be such a fun hobby to do. So while we're all sitting here shitting on EA, you know, I get it, but we need to all cycle back a little bit and like remember how good this game was, is, and can be. And I think that's one thing that gets lost in translation, is that we get so mad, we hate EA and all the things that they do with the FIFA points and stuff like that. But you got to remember that this is an amazing game, and it's just certain things that really, really need to be fixed and looked at. The issue we all have is, how do we get that point across to EA and the people that matter? How do we tell them and get it out to them with all the issues that we see? How do we get it to the people that can actually make a difference and make a change? That I don't know how to answer at all. And is this a recording? No, it's not. We're just reading through this at the start of the stream. Honestly, I just wanted to go through this and read it because I thought it was such a well put together post. Anyways, that's my point. Let's continue on, I suppose, with the rest of this post. And then you'll have the nonsensical, brainless posts that we'll put in my chat saying, "Stop playing ... as if this isn't my job, you know, and as if, even though I literally just finished saying, literally 30 seconds ago, that I love this game, you'll still have the brain dead guy saying, "Just stop playing ... Anyways, moving forward. The ugly side of gambling and addiction. This is probably where it's going to hurt a few people here. Gambling within gaming is a gray area. As soon as it gets discussed, people come to its defense by saying, "You get what you pay for." That may be very partially true, but the downside to it is far greater. I've gone on about this on stream, literally for the last like 4 years. Anyways, here we go. People who are too young are ending up getting addicted to the nature of opening loot boxes. FIFA is rated ESRB 3+, yet contains predatory gambling mechanics. It's true. It's a bit harsh to put it that way, but it's very true. By buying the game, we're accepting these gambling mechanics as the norm. In FIFA, the razzmatazz and fireworks when packing a high-rated player are greater in presentation than the celebration and ticker tape shown for winning a hard-fought online season on FUT. Where do you think EA's priorities lie? Well, to be fair, that's also true to some extent, but then when you win a tournament or when you get promoted or win a season, there is still some cool celebrations and stuff like that. So, you know, you gotta take that point as it is. Think about it. If I buy a lottery ticket in the UK, I'm actively choosing to part with my £2 for a chance of winning millions. More importantly, I know precisely what my odds are. The chances of winning the lottery in the UK is set to approximately 1 in 14 million. Now that may be very minimal chance, but hey, at least I know the odds, right? Ask yourself, do you know the odds of packing Messi or Ronaldo? The answer is no. Yet most of us keep opening our wallets and pumping money into this shit pit. Shit pit. Good shit pit? Man just said shit pit. I might take that word, actually. I might try and steal that word. It's not what addiction is. That not what addiction is? EA must be laughing their asses off at us. We're seen as morons. Why then should they listen to any complaint we may have about the game when we have absolutely no credibility left? We are all essentially barrel scraping addicts. I truly hope you can see the major problem we have here. And when you think about it, every post on this forum complaining about the game is actually a cry for help by the addicted masses. Okay. Meanwhile, whales like this individual who spent £1,000 due to their addiction, and the best card he could shout about was Chiellini. That's absolutely insane. But this sort of spending has now become the norm. Just look at all the YouTubers who get sponsored to open packs and shout and scream in a fake manner in order to hype their own 12-year-old subscribers. Jesus Christ. Okay, just a little side note here. Contrary to what all of Reddit and the forums think, EA Sports absolutely do not sponsor any of us, including the big guys that they work with, Castro or Spencer or anyone like that. They do not sponsor any of them to open packs, okay? I just want you guys to know that. That's still somehow in 2017, almost 2018, some false pretense that everybody that hates or maybe just is critical of a YouTuber or streamer thinks. Like, I don't get, well, you guys all know that now, obviously, in my own community, but I definitely do not get paid in any way, shape, or form by EA Sports to say or do anything at all. Anyways, moving forward, who then try to emulate their YouTube heroes with their parents' credit card unbeknown to the parent. Take a look at the responses in the post above to see the cognitive dissonance and denial in full effect. It's sickening. But in the end, the onus is on us. The gaming industry is now all about predatory gambling mechanics and opportunities. Every company's at it. It's up to us to be aware of the pitfalls. But we are alone in this. But we are alone in this? But we are alone in this. For example, in the UK, anything that is aired on TV needs to be accepted through OFCOM prior to broadcast. Ofcom are essentially the governing body who controls what can be shown on TV. We have no such protection in the gaming industry, and most publishers and developers are pushing forward with unethical tactics and predatory gambling methods. Heck, even in China, a country that is not exactly well known for its human rights record, seems to have a better handle on the gaming by requesting that all companies that participate in their market show odds of loot boxes, which is exactly why FIFA Ultimate Team does not exist in China. I think, as far as I know, EA have made a completely different game for the Chinese market. I believe. I could be wrong, but I think it's something along those lines. It's why EA won't release FIFA. Oh, well, Jesus Lord. Sorry, I didn't continue reading. It's why EA won't release FIFA over there, as they would have to show the odds. Maybe through Freedom of Information request, we can get more information about the pack weights and such. As gamers, we simply don't get told what rights we have. Hidden mechanics. All right, so this could be where we start getting into real tinfoil hat stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna take another quick drink and push on from here. If you're being racially abusive to anyone in the chat as a sub of mine, you're gonna get banned. Okay, so just remember that. I don't know why my mods didn't time that guy out or ban that guy, but anyways. This dude wrote a novel. Hey man, I mean, it's well put together. I would have stopped reading this out to you guys a long time ago if like the sentences didn't flow, if his points were all over the place. But I mean, this guy is kicking ass. Like he's put it well together. He's put it very well together. Nick, you've missed subs. I just paused the sub train until we're done reading, and then we'll start it all again. Then we'll start up all the sub sounds and all that stuff. Hidden mechanics. Remember slider manipulation from last year? Back then, it was just a theory without much proof. Well, how about this year? A quick look at these examples should tell you that sliders are a thing. It is the basis for all the bullshit in this game, all the inconsistencies. Every instance of horrid EAs seen on squad battles and weekend league can now be attributed to the sliders changing as well as the RNG being set high. We need to call it slider manipulation. Don't call it scripting. That word confuses people and derails any discussion about it. Okay. Here's a video showing how the supposed vision stat works. After watching this video, it's clear to see that there's quite a bit of coding going on behind the scenes at every step. But have you considered the fact that even the Fabregas has greater vision than other midfielders? All it takes is a slider to reduce his vision in game on the fly for the pass to go astray. That's exactly what happens at certain moments with the different stats in matches, therefore making this game a nightmare to play due to its inconsistencies. I'm going to read through this whole chapter, if you will, and then I'll give my 2 points on it. The only thing I wanted to say real quickly here is I want to believe that this is true because it feels like this is true in the game for sure. This absolutely feels like it happens. But what leads me to believe that this isn't true is like EA and at least the code that they push out are incapable of stopping literally disconnection glitches. They're unable of setting up a proper loading screen to go into Weekend League so that people stop quitting out and cherry picking each other. They're not able to do simple things like that. But you're telling me they're able to code into the game at milliseconds at a time, constantly manipulating sliders to fuck over you or fuck over me? That's the only thing I find hard to believe. Is we criticize EA endlessly for their lack of making simple improvements to the game or changing little things here and there that make absolutely no fucking sense at all. But then we're going to credit EA with putting in an insane mechanic like that perfectly fucks people over all the time? That's a little bit insane in my eyes. Now, I'm not saying that this isn't possible. I'm not saying that this doesn't happen all the time. What he described, it happens all the time. In fact, we have 18 fucking Weekend League games to play later, hopefully in a few minutes, and I'm sure it's going to happen and I'm going to cry about it, for the next 18 games that I stream to you guys. But I'm just saying, watch the video. Is it an actual video? What is this? Oh, no. Here's a video showing... Oh, here's the video.
Peggy 3.
This first video I'm going to show you about Vision is our attempt to replicate a Fabregas pass that happened against Barcelona this year. As you can see, there's some wedges around the defender who's in possession of the ball at the beginning of the video. And these wedges is what we're calling the vision map, and is the concept that we've created to try to create this behavior. You can see that the defender's vision map is not very big. He doesn't have a lot of vision behind him, and he doesn't see all the opportunities that are presented in a play at a given moment. But now, when we run the video and he passes the ball to Fabregas, who is around the middle of the field, as he gets it, you can see that his vision map is much, much larger. And this is because of his
I don't see shit.
And now this vision map changes on a variety of things. The opportunities and threats that I mentioned affect how much the vision map slows down as it hits that player. The vision attribute also affects how big the vision map is in general. In terms of the angle that he can see, in terms of how much he remembers after seeing an opportunity, and all these different things that create a very, very sophisticated system to really replicate the behavior of players like Fabregas and Xavi. So you can see when Fabregas gets it and he's turning around, his wedges now already cover the opportunity that he's actually going to capitalize on, and that he actually did in the real life example. And this pass then creates this amazing opportunity to score. Now, when we run the test again, by keeping all the variables the same, but only substituting Fabregas for another player, in this case it's J.S. Park from Manchester United, you can see that the outcome is going to be different. The first defender is the same, his wedges are the same, he passes it to Park, and you can see that Park's vision map is much larger than the defender, but it's not quite as big
okay, hold on.
as Fabregas.
How do you pause this
Because
bitch?
of this, as he turns, he's not yet
the length of the vision map.
He hasn't seen that opportunity yet up the field. So he's still considering other things, and eventually he does. You can see that the vision map eventually gets to that place on the field, but now it's too late. He takes 2 touches on the ball as it takes time for him to see the whole play develop, and when he plays the pass, the defender is actually the one that ends up with the ball because the attacker has now given up on it. And as you can see, it's a subtle difference, but it makes a world of difference when it comes to the outcome of a play. And that's what we're going to have in this year's game.
Okay. All right, so that's vision explained, which makes a lot of sense. How the vision set. After watching this video, it's clear to see that there's quite a bit of coding behind the scenes. Okay, so basically he's using this video as fuck. All right, yeah, that kind of disproves exactly what I was saying there, I suppose. Fair play. All right, let's continue on Let's continue on. So, the Halloween cards are something else that needs to be mentioned in the same regard. How are EA able to increase the base Oh, I've never really thought about this in this context. I know where he's going with this. Okay. How are EA able to increase the base stats on Halloween cards during the period that they went up in stats? They inject code into the game via server-side coding. After the period, the cards have returned to normal ratings. Why isn't anyone questioning how this is done without any patches being downloaded? Imagine what EA can do in terms of server-side manipulation of stats, especially hidden stats that we know nothing about. I suggest folks research SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol, and EA can see everything going on at any given time. The number of simultaneous games, goals scored, money spent, hidden stats changed, etc. That's a very fucking insane point. That is something that I'm kind of irritated with myself that I never even thought about in terms of this type of a conversation of them manipulating stats or manipulating game sliders to bring your player stats down or bring your opponent's Musa up. If they can do it with Scream cards, why can't they do it with other cards or all cards? Fair play. Very, very well thought out point, and I don't really know how to react to that. Definitely helps prove his point. This theory, of course, unfortunately, that's all it is at the end of the day because we don't have any full proof, but it's a very, very well thought out theory. AI programming in gaming is most likely a nightmare. I won't take anything away from the developers. Fair play. So this is the type of stuff that I'm trying to say to you guys too. But developers lack the ability to program true AI. So instead, the lazy route is taken. In this case of FIFA, player stats are maxed out to 99 in squad battles on ultimate difficulty. Think of how pointless this makes the game. For example, imagine if you've been grinding and spending so much money and time in order to acquire Ronaldo, and you finally have your squad, only to end up watching him get chased down by a 54 rated bronze player in squad battles who's been juiced up. That should never ever happen. It renders having Ronaldo as useless. Fucking very good point as well. The same form of buffed up AI exists in other games. For example, Forza 7's unbeatable difficulty level is the same as ultimate difficulty on FIFA. The AI cars get buffed up beyond their overall maximum horsepower. I'm sure that's a link proving it. This is a great post that a car can technically have. This seems to be the new trend in programming, and unfortunately, it's ruining gaming. Games such as FIFA, NHL, Madden, NBA 2K, etc. are all part of what's called shovelware. These games are recycled on a yearly... Okay, so this is what we talk about how annoying this game feels, and it's constantly the recycled same coding. These games are recycled on a yearly basis with a small update, new skins, rosters, etc., and a hefty price tag is slapped on and sold as a brand new game. The marketing teams then step up the hype to the masses. Step in to hype the masses, and it's smooth sailing from there. We really do get manipulated far too easily, unfortunately. As things stand with the game currently, we all can agree that it is in an atrocious state. But EA are about making a killing from profiting further from sales. It's Christmas, and all the parents will be buying this game for their children as a present. Then come January, the game will most likely receive a further patch to streamline the game even further for the casuals. Then there's all the Team of the Year, Team of the Season cards being released, etc. Prepare for the hype. Things are going to get worse before they get better. Okay, so let's take another few seconds break before we read into the future here. So see, that's not fair. It's a sports simulation. It won't be that innovating. Young Joey, though, the thing is, I think what he's trying to get at is we're not expecting FIFA 17 compared to FIFA 18 an entirely new game where our players are floating around in the sky and crazy shit and you get crazy. We're not expecting that. But what we are expecting from FIFA fucking 12 to FIFA 18 is that a certain form or any form of kickoff boost is fucking gone. The fact that your defensive players from kickoff are dead for 5 minutes has been going on literally, essentially since FIFA Ultimate Team has been out. That is the type of thing that we expect to be changed. And that is the type of thing that kind of does prove that for the most part, coding seems to be just copy and pasted into the next iteration, and then they work on a few subtle changes here and there. And you know what I mean? We can get into the semantics of it, but I think that's what he's getting at. I understand what you're saying is that this is a sports game. Like other games when they come out, maybe you can expect groundbreaking changes and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we're all playing football. So we can't expect groundbreaking changes every single year. I think what he's trying to get at is more along the lines of we should expect some probable and positive changes to the game with the things that were wrong the year before that, etc., etc., etc. They had their best game in years in the release. Then they patched it for the shit kids. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. But I think that's a tough spot for EA in general, right? Who they try to make happy. AI is simply not at the level you all want. It's all scripted. The KSI glitch was just another way to abuse the kickoff boost. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at, is that however you beat the AI in the first 5 minutes from kickoff, doesn't matter. Whether it was a long shot from the center circle that would go in FIFA 10 or whatever the fuck that was, or you literally do what this was like FIFA 13, you literally from kickoff, you just do this, and then you're in on net. Literally, your poor fucking opponent trying to select his defenders can't select them quick enough because they're all just standing like this with their fingers up their ass. So that was FIFA 13. This year, same thing. You literally just got to pass it around a little bit from kickoff. Everybody's standing around. It's an easy tap in. Oh god. Yeah, and every single iteration of FIFA Ultimate Team has had some form of a kickoff glitch. That's what we're getting at, and that's kind of what helps this guy's argument a little bit, you know? I think solving the kickoff or other things will simply break something else. Yeah, but they're coders. Like, it's been fucking 10 years. Like, you've had 10 years to fix the kickoff boost. If it breaks something else, you should fucking try and fix that. They're making billions. They literally are making billions year on year. That, again, that argument saying, yeah, but fixing the kickoff glitch is going to break something else. I get it. In FIFA 09, I get it. If the kickoff boost was so fucked, maybe for FIFA 10's release, the kickoff boost, if they just said, hey guys, we're working on a fix, it's still kind of a bit of an issue. I don't think they'd be able to say that, but you know what I mean? Like, I can understand that from FIFA 09 to FIFA 10, sure, maybe that's too close of a roadmap to fix a kickoff boost. FIFA 11 then! 2 years to fix that shit that then if it breaks something else, you fix something else. No? Oh my god. Okay, FIFA 12. No? FIFA 18. Still here. What? I'm sorry. That no longer is a valid defense for that type of an argument saying if you fix this, it breaks something else. Dude, this game's like, the kickoff boost itself has been out for far too long to use that as an excuse anymore. Hindsight, though, everyone complained about the original FIFA 18 and goalkeepers, etc., but now everyone wants it back. See, I agree. Hindsight absolutely is 2020. However, for the most part, back at the start of the game, we were all complaining about a few things. Player switching defensively was a fucking nightmare. It would literally take forever to switch your players, and then when you do switch your defender, it literally was as if they're trying to solve world peace in their fucking head before they decided to turn and face or close down an attacking opponent. So, at the start of the game, you fix that, just increase player switching and player interaction, that's one thing. That's what everybody wanted back then in terms of a fix, and you fix the certain instances where goalkeepers were fucking idiots. Leave everything else the same. But what do? They go, oh my god, okay, no, too many people are complaining, this is a problem, everyone's conceding goals, let's just revert back to our FIFA 17 code. That's literally what it seems like they did. And with every single patch that is released for FIFA 18, it feels like we're getting closer and closer to the absolute trash that was FIFA 17. And it also feels like we're now getting patched past that point, where now it almost seems like FIFA 17 was slightly better. Like, good lord. Good lord. It's the best quote I've ever heard Nick say. It's like they're trying to solve world peace before deciding to turn and defend. I mean, Rob Hodson was asking for videos of proof of the kickoff glitch does that not say that they know that it's there? Well, the unfortunate thing for us is Rob Hodson doesn't necessarily represent every single entity within EA. Of course, it's good to see all of that stuff and to see a developer or a community or esport guy say something like that, right? But you want to see it at the higher level as well. That's, I think, That's, I think, where we wanted to see. and honestly, that is also why you don't see that exact quote that you just said right there. That is exactly why you do not see EA devs and producers acknowledge anything on Twitter saying, hey guys, just because I want to do a test personally about handicapping or slider manipulation, please link me videos below and I'll try and get it to the right people's ears. If they said that, the entire community would be like, see, look, EA Sports themselves believe that they're scripting and just like you said with Rob Hodson saying that, oh, you see, at least then for sure they all know that the kickoff boost exists. That's the issue. That's why we see so much radio silence from the producers, the developers and stuff like that from EA Sports FIFA, because the community would just take it and run with it. You can't blame the producers and the developers for not talking about broken glitches and stuff like that. At the end of the day, they're trying to protect their job, and you can't hate on them for that. Also, they might also be literally have signed something that says they have to be quiet about stuff. Period. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on with reading this. The future. As a community, we are disjointed and broken. We have one or two of us who are truly helpful individuals who go out of their way to help out others. We have a large number of individuals who simply play the game regardless of issues. We have the majority of us who use a sub for making complaints about issues with the game, understandably. And finally, we have those of us who are considered as shills or griefers who supposedly come to the defense of EA as well as troll in the post with the get good comments. The point I'm trying to make is that we are not a force overall. If you look at other subs, there's a greater discord amongst gamers. See Battlefront or Forza or any of the other gaming subs, for example, of a better organized community. When Forza 7 was released, as per the unethical money-making schemes that EA has deployed throughout the years, Microsoft tried to get in on the action this year. The Ultimate Edition of Forza 7 is similar to FIFA 18's Icon Edition, costing an eye-watering £90 on release. Those who bought Forza 7 were left with a bad taste in their mouth due to the limitations that Turn 10 and Microsoft had placed on the player base. For example, the game only allowed players to earn double XP for the first 25 races of career mode instead of throughout the life cycle of the game like the previous versions. Understandably, this angered the community. It was a slap in the face of those who were loyal to the franchise and having spent such a hefty sum of money. But the difference is there to be seen. The community made their feelings known and made enough noise in order for Microsoft and Turn 10 to take notice and revert the changes. One of the reasons this was able to occur is because of the demographic that plays for Forza compared to FIFA. Forza has an older, more mature demographic than FIFA. You could argue that. Sure. Car lovers maybe a little bit higher of a demographic than football or FIFA lovers. I don't know. You could also argue that the FIFA franchise has a slightly higher demographic as well because of just, again, loving the sport before anything else. Instead of like COD or Mario Kart or something like that. But anyways, I'll let him make that point and move on. As a result, the community took a strict stance against Microsoft. The news quickly spread to the outside sources, and as we all know, bad publicity can quickly ruin a company. And so, changes were made in an instant patch that rewarded gamers better. There are many other examples, such as how Square Enix royally screwed Eidos and the players when it came to Deus Ex. At the last minute, unbeknownst to the developers and gamers, Square Enix had introduced microtransactions to the game. And while it wasn't mandatory, it did enough damage for the game to fail in being sold well. As a result, the Deus Ex franchise is now shelved without the final chapter to be released anytime soon. Want more examples? Take-Two decided to stop gamers from being able to mod GTA 5 on PC, which was the sole reason players bought the game on PC in the first place. Player base retaliated by giving the game negative reviews on Steam, lowering the game's overall rating, and giving the publisher a bad reputation. When Hello Games, When Hello Games initially released No Man's Sky, it was seen as a cash grab. The game was essentially only 50% of what was shown at E3. Understandably, gamers let their feelings be known throughout negative feedback on Steam, thereby lowering the rating of the game. It got to the point where Hello Games were being investigated for false advertisement here in the UK. However, credit where credit is due, Hello Games stuck at it and managed to incorporate many of the features initially shown, albeit 2 years later. EA were responsible for changing Battlefield 1 in a similar way. Prior to the release of the game, EA touted Battlefield 1 as a proper shooter, where no loot boxes existed. This excited the gaming community. Finally, they could play a game where that was solely about skill, where ranking up required true investment of time and skill. Once the game was released, the reviews catapulted the game to the top of the charts as a classic shooter. Everyone was happy. But this is EA we're talking about. And true to form, once the dust had settled and all the reviews had come in, EA executed their usual switch and bait tactic and introduced loot boxes into the game, thereby making the game pay to win afterwards. That's crazy. I did not know that that was a thing. The community were enraged, but nothing could be done by that point. Need I say anything about Battlefield 2? The fact that this guy links like everything is just super good as well. There are many other examples of gamers getting shafted, but the point remains. We as gamers are getting nickel and dimed at every turn. We're seen as idiots by these companies. Isn't it time we change things? If you want to play wholesome, entertaining games that provide pure, unadulterated joy, there are many out there without all the bullshit. Take Nintendo Switch's lineup of Zelda, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart as an example, or Horizon Dawn. And the exceptional Witcher 3 by CD Projekt Red. Want to know why some games are amazing while others are cash cows? It's to do with the passion that the company has for making the game in the first place. For example, The Witcher 3 is an outstanding game with incredible longevity and free DLC to boot. It's a game created by gamers for gamers. Imagine that. A company that actually cares about their game. Sounds a lot more attractive than working for a coding department in a large company like EA, who are hell-bent on increasing their quarterly profit, doesn't it? So, I would say here, again, he just goes off on a bit too much of a tangent. I don't think it's fair to say that EA is filled with people that only want the profits. As I've seen single-handedly, I've now, coming back from Germany, spoken with guys at EA that love the game as much as us. And if they could, would push out all of the positive things that we want as well, but can't, because at the end of the day, they're stopped relatively by higher ups at EA and stuff like that. People that really are, running that money train. So I just think this is a little bit of a harsh criticism because, again, my best friend worked at EA. He's literally a football addict and a FIFA Ultimate Team addict, and he worked and launched FIFA 09 Ultimate Team. Like, I know there's people there that just love the game, and want the game to be good ahead of profits. But, it is what it is. The developers at EA simply do enough to have a semi-working game while hanging on to their jobs in order to take a pay packet home to their families. That's the difference. Also a little bit harsh, but hey, it is what it is. This was portrayed in a recent post by an EA developer. People may have mocked his response and subsequently created the actionable feedback meme as a result. But everyone seems to have missed the subtle message that maybe, just maybe, the developer in question didn't have much passion for his job and didn't give a shit. Who can blame him? I didn't see this, so I can't speak to this. I don't know what the hell he's talking about here. Nintendo, on the other hand, have a different philosophy altogether. As a Japanese company, they try to remain loyal to their customers by releasing a fully working package without trying to nickel and dime their customers in comparison to most Western Hemisphere companies who are hell-bent on making profit. Okay, final thought. And so, for the 7th year in a row, the same vicious cycle repeats itself. Hype and excitement turn to anger and rage. Once again, EA have shafted everyone, releasing a completely different game compared to what was showcased in the demo and the beta. Are you surprised? The same exact sequence of events has occurred the last 6 iterations of the game, but we obviously didn't learn our lesson. This is absolute insanity on our part. After all, insanity is defined as, oh god, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different outcomes. Yeah. And here we are, about to play another 18 games of Weekend League, which scares me to absolute death. Nevertheless, I do want to say real quick, major credit, and I want to give credit to the guy who wrote this post because, again, it has blown up and it's going to continue to blow up more and more and more and more. ProPL21, fair play to you, dude. I legitimately, without trolling, am honest with you in saying you could maybe build on this a little bit and you could hand this in as a thesis and get an A+ on it. Very well put together, I think. Again, there's a few points that I disagree with that I think I tried to make myself heard with. But on a whole, I think it perfectly encapsulates everything that we all see wrong with the game. So well put together. Absolute GG's to you. And I think my final thought on it, and maybe would be a little bit of a change from from his final point, because I think what he's trying to get at here is that in order to see change, you need to absolutely stop spending money on FIFA 18 and absolutely just stop playing the game outright. Now, as I've said midway through that, I think the community's already started doing that. I think in terms of from what I see within my community, people are not spending money or as much money this year as they did in previous years. And definitely I see less and less and less and less and less people playing this game, especially during the height of the hype for this game, than they were in previous years. So I think the community is already naturally going that direction. But I will say, maybe one of the more constructive things that we can do is trying to find out who we need to talk to about where the game can be improved and how it can be improved. And I think, unfortunately for all of us, that's very hard to do because EA Sports FIFA is such a massive franchise and there's so many levels of people that none of us even really know where's the right area to talk to, and who in that right area is who we need to talk to. So when you see these petitions being made and this hashtag fix FIFA shit being made and all that stuff, which, you know, I respected for the most part, other than people abusing content creators and EA developers if they had a different mindset to them. That's the only part of fix FIFA I didn't agree with. Abusing anyone never works out. It literally just causes people to block you out and not even listen to what you have to say. But we need to find out who those people are that we can get in their ears. And I mean, I do blame myself a little bit as well, because I think at this point in time, if I didn't have such a rocky relationship with EA and a few of their core employees who I don't think even work there anymore, but I kind of feel like through my own ego and hot-headedness back in FIFA 14 and FIFA 15, when I would see all the problems with EA and really go into them, you know, and publicly shame them, if you will, on Twitter and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that is now, even to this day, left me completely outside of the realm of being able to talk to people at EA that have influence, that I can try and get answers for you guys, or I can try and get what the overall community feels is wrong or right or etc. to the right hands. Now, it's been since FIFA 15, tail end of FIFA 15, I haven't promoted coins, all of that stuff, so it's been 3 years plus now. I've obviously tried to be a lot better, a lot more positive towards EA and stuff, and who knows, maybe in the future, our community here will be able to try and get the positives and the ideas for what makes a better game to the right people. It's on me, unfortunately, that I can't do that right now. Like I said, you know, I kind of put myself on the blacklist with EA Sports with the way I went about trying to get answers from them back in the day. And it is what it is. We learn from our mistakes. We make our bed. We got to sleep in it, right? I've come to terms with that. But what I will say in closing is amazing work. And it's nice to see such intelligent people in the FIFA community that are looking out for the FIFA community, whether it's ProPL21 or it's anyone else that tried to push in a positive way the Fix FIFA movement. I love this game. I do. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop playing FIFA 18 Ultimate Team. I love it. If I wasn't a content producer, I would still be playing FIFA 18 Ultimate Team. Would I be playing Weekend League 40 games a weekend? 100% no. Would I be spending thousands of dollars a year on FIFA 18? 100% no. But the main point stands is that I love this game, I love football, and I would absolutely be playing this game, albeit I'd be on Reddit myself, or I'd be continuing on the forums myself, bitching and moaning like I did in FIFA 10, FIFA 11, and FIFA 12 in the Asylum forum threads and stuff like that, right? I used to be a big frequenter there. So I just hope they fix this game. What worries me so much about all of this is that EA have had a stranglehold on the market for so damn long that I think they're blind to their own failures, and I think they're blind to their game failing as it is right now. And that's what worries me the absolute most, is that they've just been succeeding for so long, and even maybe to a certain extent for FIFA 18, they've succeeded so much in the first couple of months, having people playing it, people spending thousands and thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars or tens of dollars, that again, they're just so blind to all the problems. And we could get to FIFA 19 where the game could just be absolute shambles. Now, it's still 10 months away or 7 months away or 8 months away. So we still have time, and maybe EA does come up with an amazing game in FIFA 19. I guess that's all we can hope for. And in the meantime, we got to try and find the right people at EA to talk to try and get this game in the state that everyone is happy. And in closing, making everyone happy is impossible. Remember the post no FIFA